What is up, everybody? I am back with another video, but this video is a little bit different than previous videos on my channel. This is relevant to high fidelity music, just streaming. And this is a fun little experiment that I'm excited to tell you about, so let's dive right in. I was scrolling through Instagram the other day, and I came across a targeted ad for Tidal, a high-fidelity streaming service. Another thing that drew me into this ad was a 3-month subscription for $3. So I decided, why not give this a shot? I'll download it, I'll see how it is, if it's really high fidelity or not, or if they're just using marketing language to get people like me to join. So my idea for an experiment was I'm going to do a side-by-side playthrough of the same song on 2 different streaming services. My default, which is Apple Music, and then Tidal, and see if I can hear a difference. Let me just clarify that I have not received any type of incentive to influence my results either way. I am going to be as fair as I could to both streaming services. So, that being said, I had a couple factors I was able to control. I kept my phone the exact same spot and position and the same volume away from me. So those things wouldn't influence my experience with these songs, but instead I would have to listen deeper to the music itself. The first song that I tried on Apple Music versus Tidal was a song that I know front and backwards. I've known it for years. I just wanted to hear, is there a difference between these two formats? The first song I chose was Gimme Shelter by the Rolling Stones. The reason I chose this song is because of my familiarity with it, but I'm also curious to see, is there a difference in high fidelity streaming? So, on the Apple Music playthrough, I didn't hear anything new. Same song that I've known and loved for years, and that is, it's a good quality rendition of this song. It sounds fine, nothing wrong with it, it's nothing new. Same old. However, when I listened to the Tidal version, I heard 2 things that I'd never heard before. The first was Mick Jagger has a second shout. He has a woo after Mary Clayton's famous voice crack, but there's also another one when Keith Richards starts his first guitar solo, and I'd never heard that before. So that was exciting to hear stuff that I'd never heard before. Additionally, the second big takeaway, we know that Mary Clayton has her famous voice crack in the third Rape Matter, it's just a shadow away, it's just a shadow away. We know she has a voice crack in the third one. However, she also has a voice crack in the second one, and I'd never heard that before. And I was astounded by what I heard. So then I went back to Apple Music and I listened to that same section. The voice crack on the second one is there. However, it is very faint. It is background. And you have to be really paying attention and you have to know it's there in order to hear it. But now that I have heard it, I don't think I'm ever going to hear the same song again. I don't think I'm ever going to hear it the same. Another thing about Tidal is everything sounds like it's in the foreground instead of having it in the background like Apple Music. It sounded like Keith Richards was right here. It sounds like a record. It sounds like record quality streaming, I gotta say. So then, having been satisfied with my first test, I wanted to see how it sounds using a rap song, because a lot of rappers, including Dr. Dre, Kanye West, Beyonce, they've been releasing a lot of stuff exclusively on Tidal. So I wanted to hear a classic from Nas. I wanted to hear New York State of Mind, and I wanted to hear how it sounded from Illmatic, his classic record from 1994. And I wanted to hear how it sounds on Tidal. But I used a control. This time I used Spotify against Tidal. Maybe I should have used the same song, but it's okay. So, on the Spotify version, everything sounds the same. Nothing new, nothing spectacular. But on the Tidal version, we hear a lot deeper bass. The boom baps really connect. They really are there and present. Foreground again, and same thing with the piano. The dun dun dun. Same. It sounds so crisp and clear, and it sounds amazing. It really does. So those were my first two tests, and I was happy to hear all of them. And then I was like, okay, I want to hear how Tidal works with distortion. So I chose four different genres that have distortion very frequently, very heavily. I used a shoegaze song, a punk song, blues, and then dub, a reggae subgenre. And the songs I picked were, for the shoegaze, I picked a My Bloody Valentine song. For the punk, I picked God Save the Queen by the Sex Pistols, because I want to hear how that guitar sounds. Then for the blues, I picked a song by Lightning Hopkins. Lightning Hopkins. And then for the dub track, I picked General Penitentiary by Black Aruhu. And I just wanted to hear how they sounded. The results, again, of all those playthroughs, I went back to Apple Music just for the comparison. All those playthroughs, much, much better on Tidal. And I gotta say, I don't think I'm ever going back to normal streaming. The reason why Tidal is high quality instead of Spotify or Apple Music or any other streaming service is because it uses FLAC audio instead of MP3 audio. What does that mean? So, MP3 audio, when we're dealing with digital music, we deal with bits. There's 8 bytes in a bit, and that is how much information this thing can process in this little amount of space. So, when we're dealing with digital, when we're dealing with CDs or digital streaming, we get this like staircase effect where we're not getting the full wavelength, but we're getting up and then it levels off and then it up, levels off again. Creates a staircase effect, and that means we're not getting the higher highs and the lower lows or anything else that might not be within that bit. FLAC audio, we get everything. We get a higher sample rate, we get a higher bit depth, meaning the sound is deeper and we just have higher fidelity. So, that is MP3 versus FLAC. Tidal uses FLAC audio, and I read this as I was curious and starting my experiment, so I knew that there would be a chance, and surely enough there was. The last thing I want to say about Tidal, they have about 60 million songs, which is a pretty good selection, or I do have to admit, but you can listen to high-fidelity versions, and they also have mastered versions of these tracks, some of these tracks. So you can hear the original mastering, how the song was intended to be heard with lossless audio. And I really think that if you are curious, you can try it for yourself. You can give Tidal a try. Again, $3 for 3-month subscription right now. Give it a shot. Comment on this video if you want to give it a shot, or if you are a fan of Tidal, tell me what you think. And I really think that I found a new streaming service. So, that being said, thanks for tuning in. Make sure to follow my Instagram at JerseyRecordDude for more high-fidelity content, music memes, suggestions, etc., etc., etc. And I'll see you next time.